So most elements like to either gain or lose electrons, and that's to give themselves a full outer shell at the expense of forming a charge. Just because elements like to do that doesn't mean molecules can't do it too, and in fact they do. These are groups of atoms that have formed molecules that have a charge. They connect to the corresponding ion of the opposite charge, and they're very stable. These are called polyatomic ions, and let's learn all about them in Screencast 7.5. Here's a French climber climbing on limestone. I can tell he's French because he's getting such a really bad belay. No, I'm just kidding. But he is getting a bad belay. I mean, look at this thing. There's like gelatinous amount of slack here. If he falls, he's going to go for a whipper. This rock that he's climbing on is called limestone. The French say calcaire. The chemical name is calcium carbonate. And the charges, well, calcium has a 2+ charge if you look it up. And by the way, have a periodic table out as always to help look this stuff up. And find the carbonate anion. There is no element known as like carbonide or anything like that, carbonium. That's because the carbonate is actually an anion that's a group of atoms, 4 specifically. It's 1 carbon and 3 oxygens that hook up together and form a -2 ion. This happens frequently, and most scientists deal with it by memorizing them, and you'll probably have to do the same. So there's calcium carbonate. Notice that the +2 nicely offsets the -2. You got yourself a stable salt. You only need 1 each. And that polyatomic ion is known as the carbonate dianion, CO3 2-. There's some others. I list them in my class at the bottom of my periodic table. You probably have them listed somewhere, so let's memorize some. Sodium cyanide, yikes, Zyklon B, scary, toxic stuff. 60 milligrams will kill you. Na for sodium, but cyanide is the polyatomic ion known as Cn-. It's just got a -1 charge. Oh yeah, if you can read it, there's a list of them right here. Calcium hydroxide. Calcium is plain old Ca, and the hydroxide, if you go to the trouble of finding it, you'll find out it's the OH-1. But they don't offset each other, do they? So calcium's +2, hydroxide's -1. Let's balance this by switching the charges. That's the fast way. And so we need 2 hydroxides, only 1 calcium, drop the 1, and there's calcium hydroxide. Quicklime or something like that. And that's how you do it. This is Screencast 7.5.